One of Big House Gaines's not necessarily best players, but loudest is someone most of you know, Stephen A. Smith. Not Earl Monroe, not Cleo Hill, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. we caught up with the other day, and he gave us a few words about Big House Gaines and the Big House Gaines Award. Brian?
Doctorate degree from my alma mater, Winston-Salem State University. And as most of you know, I played basketball for Coach Gaines. Now, that's the official thing. Unofficially, I tried to play. I really couldn't play. He was kind enough to keep me on the team or what have you, but it is what it is. When we think about Coach Gaines, understand something here. As great as you all knew he was, let me tell you what else he was. He was very cheap. He really, really was. And I can break down to you why in detail. It was Christmas. It was Christmas of 1988. I had to go home for the holidays. I didn't have enough money for gas. Do you know what this man did? He looked at me when I asked him for $30. That's all I needed was $30. And the man looked at my watch, looked back up at me, looked down at my watch, looked back up at me and said, "Give me the watch." Took my watch off my wrist and kept it for 2 weeks over the Christmas holidays until I brought the watch back to him. Until I brought his money back to him. Then he gave me my watch back. This is the Coach Gaines that I know. But that's the way life was, because Coach Gaines was just that way. He held on tight to his money, but more importantly, seriously, he held on to his character. And he made sure that we all did the same. It wasn't about the money with Coach Gaines. It was about the principle of making sure that I honored my word. And after that, I remember one of the greatest compliments he ever gave me is that I never had to give him collateral ever again. Anything that I needed, if I promised him I'd give it back to him, he was always generous enough to give it to me. And he didn't only give me gifts, and he didn't give me loans or anything like that. What he really, really gave me was knowledge, wisdom, and he was just a walking piece of education every single day of my life at Winston-Salem State University. He's one of the greatest men I've ever known in my entire life. He's been incredibly generous, philanthropic, as all of you know, but more importantly, he stood for something, and it was always about being something greater than himself and doing things for people other than himself. So it's with that in mind, as we look at this Clarence Big House Gaines Award that's going to be awarded to Shaka Smart out of VCU in Division I, to Cleo Hill Jr. in Division II. When we award people with such an honor, it's not just because of their achievements in their chosen profession. It's the fact that they are so much more than just what their titles say they are. They give a lot to the community, they give a lot of themselves, and they make sure to preach about the importance of people doing exactly the same. I hope you all keep that in mind as we think about any awards that we're going to give out in the name of Clarence Big House Gaines in the future, because that's certainly what he stood for. I'm a living example of that. Whether it's a shining example of that remains to be seen. After all, I'm still here, and I still have work to do, and so do the rest of you.
The Division II winner is with us here tonight. His Shaw University Bears had one of the best seasons, if not the best season in their history. They won the CIAA tournament in Charlotte and made it to the NCAA Division II tournament, where they acquitted themselves very well. The winner of the Big House Gaines College Basketball Coach of the Year Award for Division II is Shaw University's Cleo Hill Jr. Cleo, come on up.
Before I say anything, I'd like to have you all give yourselves a hand. People that organize this banquet, it can be overwhelming, actually. So the people who organize it, give them a hand again. I'd like to thank Dave and the NSSA again for just presenting me with this award. It means a lot. It's kind of special because Coach Gaines was my mentor. Even though I didn't play 1 minute for him, my father played for him at Winston-Salem State. In the late 50s, I decided to go to North Carolina Central over Winston-Salem. But even when I was finished playing, he still reached out his hand and kind of brought me up through the coaching ranks. And for those of you who don't know Coach Gaines, that's just the kind of guy that he was, always willing to lend a hand, and not only just to me and my father, but to my entire family. Also, even in Division II, and it spans through Division I, he was the kind of person that would give advice. He gave advice even to our entire North Carolina Central basketball team after they beat us at home. He came to our locker room and just gave us a few words. And I know that he would be very proud to have this award named after him, and especially by a prestigious organization like this. I'd also like to give thanks to my athletic director, Al Carter, who has been very instrumental in me coming back to the CIAA. And if my wife is here, I'd like to give thanks to her. She's at the door. She's very brave, because our babysitter, our babysitter bailed out on us at the last minute, telling us that she had to see Oprah. And this is a very brave moment for her as well. And I'd just like to say thank you once again. Thank you, Dave.
Congratulations again.